My name is Josh Ornovitz, and my computing innovation is machine learning. This is my website about machine learning that I programmed with HTML. And HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And it is a computer language that's used for creating websites. And it works by you creating a code that is then read by and translated by an internet browser into a custom web page. And I used cPanel, and this is my cPanel right here, as you can see. And I used cPanel to code my custom website and then upload it to the internet. So I made a new file for cPanel for each of my web pages, as you can see here. And I also created a new file for every image that I used on my website, so that cPanel could then search for and find the images, which are these right here, all of these JPEGs. Okay. Um, so some of the images on my website, I had to create myself an upload, such as this background here and this GIF. Um, First, I made my logo, which is this image here, but it's better shown on the top of this page right here. So this is my logo. It's comprised of several images, and I created it using a website called Pixlr, which is a free online version of an application that's similar to Photoshop. So I first searched the internet for images related to my topic of machine learning, and then I then saved those images into Pixlr, resizing layer and layering the images over each other, using one of the images as the background, which is this image here of this electronic brain. Um, and then I used the text box to create the title of my logo and edited the color of the words, machine learning. Um, and then I uh, saved it as a PNG file with a transparent background and uploaded it to my website. I use the same techniques to create this whole banner here, and it goes across the top of my web page for all of my web pages. It sits across the top, and um, it's also a hyperlink back to the home page, which I thought was very cool. So for my animation on the homepage, I did it a little bit differently. I used the website easygif.com to upload 3 images, and then I set the amount of time that each image would appear for, and I edited it so that they would fade into each other. And then I uploaded all of these images into my cPanel, again, like over here, which is my animation, my background, and my banner, and other ones across the website. And so I could upload and insert them into my website using HTML. So let's go to the purpose page. So for the first part, indicate in the name of the innovation and provide a clear description of its intended purpose, such as the problem that it solved, the opportunity that it created, or the discovery that made it possible. So my topic was machine learning. And machine learning is a form of artificial intelligence that deals with a program that's able to solve any task that's put in front of it. So the program should be able to take the problem or the input and use an algorithm that it has devised to be able to search for solutions and produce a reasonable response to the problem. Uh, I used WeVideo on my laptop to record and edit this video right down here, as you can see, created with WeVideo. Uh, and I exported it and uploaded it to YouTube, and then from YouTube, I took that link and then embedded it in my code to have it appear on my website. So this is the video.
Machine learning is the study and construction of algorithms that can learn from and make predictions on data. These algorithms use data-driven predictions or decisions to create a model from the input and output data. The beneficial effect of machine learning is that computers can devise complex models and algorithms that allow them to be able to recognize patterns and be able to predict future outputs.
And then in WeVideo, I edited it so I could insert this text box here. and add those transitions. Thanks, WeVideo. All right. So, effects and impacts. So, explain a benefit and or harm of the innovation. So, a benefit would be that the system would be able to complete a task in a matter of a few seconds that would normally have taken a human maybe minutes or even hours to complete, and it would use this algorithm and code that it has come up with to be able to solve this problem. Uh, so with yeah, it can go through and analyze text, and even be able to figure out if someone is complaining or congratulating in a message. Can tell whether a song is happy or sad, and what even suggest similar songs that a listener might enjoy. So it could do some really amazing things. Explain the impact that the innovation has on society, economy, or culture. So I chose to go with economy, and a pretty amazing invention is that machine learning was used to run a hedge fund, and that hedge fund consistently outperformed hedge funds run by other humans. So the algorithm was able to take in data and pick up on trends, and it was able to use that to make investments based on stock price history or other trends throughout the market that it has picked up on that otherwise would require a human to be able to pick up on or figure out. And it would it would mean companies could even run more efficiently without having humans working. So that's a big effect on society and human culture. So D, indicate one field other than computer science with its innovation has impacted or has the potential to impact. So machine learning seems to be the way of the future. So there's a lot of areas of society uh, that this innovation impacts. For example, cars used to be built entirely by humans, and now manufacturing factories are just run by robots, and everything's just built. And if any problems occur, the machines are able to pick it up. And another one is like the self-driving cars, which is an image of right here, being able to put taxi drivers out of jobs. So in the near future, there could be a lot of different menial tasks that are performed by humans that could be taken over by robots using machine learning. Okay, and it's the technical aspects page. And so ease, describe how a user interacts with the innovation. So what ideally the user would do was they would write the code for the innovation for machine learning in the first place, and then after that they would input a set of inputs and outputs of example inputs and outputs. So the program can pick up on how that data is used and transformed and what the projected output should be. So then from there, the user would just have to put an input in, and the program or algorithm would be able to produce a reasonable output from that. Describe in detail how the innovations technology incorporates one of the big ideas of abstraction algorithms programming under the internet. So a big way that machine learning is used is in Google searches. So when you Google something, Google's job is to get you the best results in the quickest amount of time and put them at the top of your screen so you don't have to go looking for them. So Google actually tracks which links you click on, how long you stay on those pages, and all different sorts of things like that. And so it's constantly learning and figuring out which pages are not useful to people, depending on what they're searching on, and which pages are. And another thing like that is that if you search for example, in here I said dog toy. So if you were to search for dog toys, and then the next time you would, like some people go through Facebook, they would they would see ads for a dog toy because Google is picking up on these search histories and is actually giving them or selling them to third parties. Relationship to data. So describe how the innovation consumes data, produces data, and or transforms data. So as mentioned earlier, when writing the code, you have to figure out how Relationship to data. So describe how the innovation consumes data, produces data, and/or transforms data. So machine learning uses consumes data when it is input either manually by a user or when it is retrieved when presented with a problem, and then it will take this input data and run it through its algorithm, and then try and produce a reasonable response, which is the output. And with that output, they want it to be within a reasonable aspect, and then if not, then a human would or a user would have to go back in and correct the algorithm, and so that it could take that input and produce a reasonable output. So describe how at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security concern related to the innovation. So as I mentioned earlier, when something is Googled and that information about what websites they visit, how long they spend, is tracked and kept, and is actually given to third parties. And now, recently, with the Facebook scandal with Cambridge Analytica and users' information being shared without their knowledge, this has become a pretty big issue in the forefront of people's minds about how their data is being used and who it is being shared with. And then these are my references. The one I liked very much was this one. It is a Forbes article about the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning. And it was very interesting. And there's actually, machine learning is actually just a very finite part of artificial intelligence. And if you go through this, it's a few pages, but it describes which parts of this kind of technology are machine learning and which kind are artificial intelligence. Thank you. For more information, please follow the link to my website. Thank you. For more information, please follow the link to my website. Thank you.